Hey everybody, this is Tim with Op-Ed Daily. I'm here to give you a quick update on Benjamin Netanyahu. This article comes from CBS News titled, Benjamin Netanyahu insists he supports realistic two-state solution. So right before he was reelected prime minister, he said that he would never support um, a two-state solution between Israel and Palestine, which differs from in 2009, like the article says. He had embraced demilitarized Palestinian state that recognizes the Jewish state of Israel. So he was for a two-state resolution. Then right before his reelection, he was against it. And now, a day, 2 days after his election, he's now for it again. So he's just kind of going back and forth. Although he says, I haven't changed my policy, Netanyahu said in an interview with NBC News, and says that ever since 2009, he's been behind, a two-state solution. But what he says there is, what's changed is reality. I want a sustainable, peaceful two-state solution, but for that, circumstances have to change. To me, that reads, either they concede everything and they give us everything that they want, they meaning the Palestinians, or we'll never be at peace. So Israel wants their cake, and they want to eat and kill it too. Because unless Palestinians give in to all the demands of the Israelis, then there's never going to be any peace. So I guess technically it's no different, because I don't think Netanyahu will ever let peace be among these two people, because Netanyahu and the other Israelis want the Gaza Strip. They want it all. They don't want the Palestinian people to have their own state. They wanted everything, which brings me to this other paragraph, and you pay close attention. We also have to make sure that we don't have ISIS coming into that territory. It's only 24 miles away from our borders. It's thousands of miles away from yours. So what they're doing here is they are planting a seed for the ISIS card. They're going to pull and play the ISIS card. And we all know that ISIS is going to chop everybody's heads off, because the United States uses it. Everybody that wants to push a certain agenda will use it. Syrians, Libyans, all these other people, ISIS this, ISIS that. It's always ISIS. Every time they want to scare us now, it's ISIS. Before it was just terrorists. Before that, it was communists. And in between there, it's socialists. So there's always this boogeyman that they use to try to make people afraid. And oddly enough, the majority of the people that are afraid or that get behind policies due to some fear mongering are Republicans. So in a sense, Republicans are the ones that are afraid most often. Uh, don't hate me, Republicans. I'm just calling it like I see it. So this is an important paragraph to read, because it tells me, and this is a prediction I'm going to make here right now on YouTube, that eventually, within probably 2 to 5 years, Israel will claim that ISIS has infiltrated Palestine, and then Israel will walk into Palestine and just completely obliterate them, wipe them off the map, and then Israel will take the Gaza Strip once and for all. That's been their goal this whole time. They've never really fought or even tried to make an actual realistic peace negotiation between the people of Palestine and Israel, because they didn't want it. They want all of that land, and they're going to take it. And this right here, this little ISIS thing, this is how they're going to get it. And you watch, the United States is going to back them. Barack Obama, if he's still in office when it happens, Barack Obama will be right there behind them, probably giving them aid money that they don't need, because Israel is a very wealthy country. Why we send them aid, beyond me. So just keep an eye out for that. That's what's going to happen. And I'd also like to point out that all the other countries that that our government or any other government wants to go into and take over or control, they're going to claim ISIS is in there. And maybe they'll even fund a rebel group inside there so that they can say, oh, look, they're chopping people's heads off. I beg that the Americans see through this game that the U.S. and Israel and everybody else is playing. These fear tactics that they use. They try to make you afraid of something so that you will just, okay, all right, well, here, pass this law, and you know what? I won't get on social media and speak against my government because I don't want ISIS to chop my head off. This is so sad, and they've done it every generation. It's a different thing. Communism, socialism, Nazis, you know, all these other things. It's the same tactic, and they've been doing it for years, and it makes people malleable and gullible and naive and afraid. I'm sorry, but I don't walk around in fear of my life or afraid of a terrorist attack on a constant basis. That's like at the very, very bottom of the list of things that I worry about. I'm more worried about getting, stung by a bumblebee than I am from being blown up by a terrorist. Maybe if I was in another country, that would be a different story, but I'm in America and we have a lot of defensive capabilities. So the only way that these things are really going to happen is if our government lets them happen, especially now since they troll our emails and troll our Facebook and everything else. But that's all I have for now. That's my prediction for the future, is that they're going to start using this ISIS card to go in and take over Palestine. That's the way I read this, and I hope you guys can see through all these smoke and mirrors that they've got where, oh, yes, we'll be okay with the two-state resolution. No, they won't. They never have been, and they're not going to start now, especially not with Benjamin Netanyahu in power. If you like the way that I present the news and you like my opinion, go ahead and subscribe. If you don't like my opinion, subscribe anyway, and you can complain and argue with me in the comment section. I'm more than happy to engage you in debate in the comment section, so feel free to leave a comment if you disagree. Just as a note, I will never censor people, so your comments are going to show up there. Anyway, until next time, I will see you later.